Hello everyone, Namaste, Salam. Welcome to the second episode of Crafted Conversations. Today we have with us Grisha and Shelja. Please introduce yourselves.
Okay, so my name is Grisha and I'm a psychology graduate and I've recently started working also.
Hi, I'm Shelja. I'm in my final year of doing an undergraduate program from NMIMS. I am an outstation student. I currently reside in Bombay, of course, but I'm from Silvassa originally. So, yeah.
How is shifting from Silvassa to Mumbai like? Silvassa is a beautiful place. I think I've heard
That's all
it.
we've heard.
Yeah, that's all we've heard. Never been to Silvassa.
Silvassa is the outstation, a marriage destination for everybody,
It is
all
Literally,
out
yes.
Everybody's
Yeah.
here to take a break, must weekend.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I've been to Silvassa, my friends. And I'm like, oh, come. बच्चा था ना field trip पे लेके गए थे.
But how is living there? How is
Yeah,
just growing up?
It's so homey, It feels like a warm hug. Like one thing I can tell you about Silvassa is that you won't even realize when the time passes by, क्या नींद आती है एक तो वहाँ बहुत बढ़िया नींद आती है.
Down you fall.
Yeah.
Slow pace. No, compared to Mumbai,
Compared
Mumbai is
to
very
yeah.
fast.
Mumbai is very
Isn't
fast
it just
paced.
opposite then for you to transition?
How
Yeah.
is the transition
And
like?
it is entirely opposite, I can say. I don't think it's about the fast-paced life or the slow-paced life. The major thing for me is that I shifted from my home, my parents and everything.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm living here alone. So there's, challenges and everything. But one thing I've noticed that it does not matter how long you've been living in Mumbai. There's this sense of achievement, but it's, somewhere or the other disguised in the sense of loneliness because you're out here climbing the steps. But when you look around, you don't see a friend.
I think even we would relate with that.
With that,
Even
yes.
growing up in Mumbai, it's the same. It just
True.
feels like you have been surrounded by people all the time. All the time. Even at like 2 o'clock in the night, you're
yeah.
still surrounded by people, but you still feel
alone. True.
है ना?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, that feeling is, it never really goes away.
Yeah.
Until and unless you find people that you can open to, It doesn't have to be those, crying conversation like, रात के 2 बजे यार समझ नहीं आ रहा. Like, of course you can do that too, but when you're with them, you feel this certain sense of serene,
I understand. Yeah.
Your people.
Yeah, my people,
Yeah.
This is what I've always felt like when I went to places like, for example, Silvassa. It's like you just go there for a getaway. If you just
Yeah.
go there for 1 week and you just feel like, oh my god, the life here is so much more sorted, so much more simpler, and so
Yeah.
much slow paced.
the country life sort of.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
we just feel like, oh, we got that for 1 week. We can go back to the rush.
But
So it's always that feeling here.
But I'll tell you one
Yeah.
thing that after a week, people have this urge. People who live in Bombay, like, I'll take my example only. When I go back to home, like a week or two, उसके बाद I need to get out. Like, I want to get back to Bombay.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
cannot stay there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? I wasn't, I was so anxious. नहीं मेरे को घर जाना है बॉम्बे से बहुत थक गई मैं. So लॉस जाके यार बॉम्बे जाना है यार क्या कर रही हूँ मैं
But
यहाँ पे
that's the
आके.
love for this place. That's the
Exactly,
city,
yeah.
It just binds you towards each other. It gives you so many emotions, so many loss in your life. But at the same time, it just gives you that opportunity to just grow to another level. That
The
I'm
city of
thinking-
dreams.
Yeah.
It's literally the city of dreams. I think people from all over the country come here with dreams in their eyes, in their minds, and they just like hustle day in, day out, all the time, 24/7. And then you want to achieve that, you want to get there.
But a city like Mumbai, it just holds so much potential to take a toll on your mental health, I feel.
Very
and
true.
it's just all age groups. Like I'm sure we three are of the same age group, but still we have so many different experiences, so many different types of people we have met, and the experiences that we have had. It just shapes your personality. For example, if I just want to share about myself, I was somebody who just grew up really talkative and really like an oversharing personality. Okay, just as soon as I grew up. I came to a new college in my third year. I came to Vellapalli. Before that, I was in a, you can say, I was not proper Bombay girl. I was still like a suburbs girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that I want
Thane
to
is not even Mumbai.
to that I want to add,
Yeah.
there's divisions right in Bombay.
Yeah.
You see, there's like Sobo, there's proper South Bombay,
Yeah.
and then there's
Yeah.
Bandra to
Suburbs,
Andheri,
yeah.
and then there's after Andheri, then there's after Borivali,
Right, yeah.
then there's Thane, Kalyan, and there's the people, the crowd is so different in
Yeah.
each. Like you'll see cultural shock right from Thane to Pali.
Exactly,
I'm
exactly,
guessing that's what you
yeah.
face.
So I moved here in my third year. So I've already completed 2 years in some other college with some other group of people,
Yeah.
and I've come here. That's
Yeah.
like about 20 kilometers. It just sounds like okay, it's not a lot. Like what could really change? But
But-
it changes. That's okay. It changed.
Yeah.
So I came here. I remember third year, final year of college. You are all set to achieve. You're all set to just go and embark whatever you were thinking about, right?
Yes.
Since 10th standard, at least for me. So I came here and I just see everybody here so ambitious, doing college, doing work, going back home, studying, excelling in college, excelling at work, doing all of them together. Where I came from, some place where only 75% attendance is over, that's like an achievement. That's where I came from, to be honest. So I came here, and a person like me who thought of herself as extrovert, I always thought I was comfortable talking to people. I had that confidence within myself. But coming here, seeing people who just seem to be so superior to myself,
I know,
Mm.
right? Like
Yeah.
she came from a different city. You've come from some other place, but it was the same experience for me. Coming into
While you're
Mumbai.
staying here, yeah.
Somewhat similar, yeah. So, talking about how it affected my mental health, I faced a lot of places where I just would do anything to fit in. You know, have you had those feelings where you just want to fit in?
Fit in, yes.
And just
belong. You
belong
want to
to
belong.
people?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to what you're saying. For the first 3 months that I was here, I didn't know what I was doing. I was on this on robotic mode, you know, like robot mode chalu hai. Utho, jao, below, Sunday.
You've
What?
seen that in movies, huh?
You know, like you just
Tamasha.
go- exactly. तुम उठ रहे हो, एक cycle repeat करो,
Yeah.
कर रहे हो, and you're not asking, are you happy? Are you doing this or not?
Yeah.
And it's just you cannot process anything. You're just doing it for the sake of, you know, being there, this thrill, you know, this momentary rushes in your life. And you just sit there idly and you phantom, where am I? What have this gotten to do? Is this really what I want?
Yeah. Do you remember when we just walked into the room? We are just we asked each other, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh,
All just answered, "I'm good." And
Yeah.
now that you spoke about that, it just makes me wonder that it's just a question that we are not we are not understanding. It's like an automated response that we're just saying, "Hi, how are you?"
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. It's literally a conversation starter. You just ask, you move ahead, and you move on to the next
Yeah.
part of the conversation.
And then an hour later, it's like, यार सुन ना, मैं तुझे कुछ बोलूं क्या?
Yeah.
And that you know the person like, हाँ बोलना यार, क्या हुआ? And then the barricade falls down, and you're like, bro, मुझे पता नहीं था यार.
A breakdown.
Yeah. Proper breakdown.
And it's just, it hurts so much to see your friends going through the same thing that you go through, but both of you don't really share it, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's more for our generation. Like when we all, I'm sure I've completed my college right now, but in college especially, what was it like when you entered, and what was your first day like?
My first day, I was on full extroverted person, you know, wishing everybody good morning, what's up, how are you? या चल रहा है, इधर चल रहा है, ये तू उधर या क्या? हमने क्या तेरा पीजी का कितना हुआ रेंट? How much is this?
Yeah.
yeah. And it was all so nice, but I kid you not, 3 months in, I became the most secluded person. Like, if you could see me in my classroom, I would be the one, sitting in a corner, minding my own business. Like, I have this friend circle, but that's me. Like, I ran out of my social battery and I couldn't. And people are like, she was always nice, but baad mein, she got, separated and essay. And for them, it might not be, a big deal. Some might also say that she just got so much attitude filled in her.
Oh yeah, there are
Yeah.
people.
I
People
know,
talk
right?
A misconception.
Yeah, so much. And I'm like, I don't care, I'm sorry. I cannot do this right now.
I completely understand because I just always feel like in India there's not much of a concept of going to a therapist and talking to people about how you're feeling. So whatever toll you're taking on psychologically on a daily basis, and on top of it, just going back home, you're meeting all these people, you're just having your day, coming back home in Mumbai. You always feel like, oh, at the end of the day, I just have myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. I think in a city that you're surrounded with constant crowd around you, like people around you, but you actually just feel so alone at the end of the day in your room or in your bathroom at times. It's you alone
And that loneliness just strikes
and
so
hits you.
louder,
Yeah.
And then isn't it the phrase "Khali dimag shaitan ka ghar"?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
is what started happening with me. This is what I can remember as of now. So we as psychology graduates, we've been learning so much about different diseases like depression, and these are the symptoms. Anxiety causes this. This is what we're learning about. Even like the medicines, whatever medicines you should take if you're having like a clinically mental disorder or something like that, even a disease or something. I just start self-diagnosing.
Hmm.
So for me, of course, I've been reading and everything. My self-diagnosis was some other level, but I'm sure even you guys started feeling or
I
thinking
think
about
with-
what are these symptoms? Where are these symptoms coming from?
Yeah, I think you've studied psychology, but I think with Instagram today we have so much information in our hands.
And
Sometimes false information,
Yeah.
in fact, but
many times
false information. We don't know for sure, but we just rely on it because that's what we see.
Exactly.
And this person with, like, say, this amount of followers, subscribers is saying something, it must be true, and we just rely on that and we self-diagnose too.
And more than that, no, let's say that you are going through a bad phase in your life, okay? And let's say you're going through a breakup or shit like that. Now, I'm just going, maybe we ended on good terms or whatever, but you read this. There is this line, okay, अगर तुम किसी को प्यार करते हो तो उसे खुला छोड़ दो. अगर वो वापस आएगी, that means you really loved her. Like they
Set
really
them
loved you.
free.
Just making situations in our head.
Yeah.
And for a person, for me, example, I broke things off, and I am there looking at these things. I'm, feeding off of this content. I'm just giving myself false hope and security that the person in front of me, the person I was involved with, did not give it to me, and I'm just expecting it out of them.
Yeah.
Like, who am I fooling, myself or this situation I'm in?
Correct.
Like, it's just so bad out there.
Because I think all of this is because we weren't taught about anything, how to deal with things, how to think about how to even interpret what we're thinking. We weren't taught about all these things. So I just want to ask this question, at least, like, we are speaking about mental health and understanding our own emotions. Did we have psychology as a subject in our school?
No, absolutely not.
I
We
think
did not.
Yeah.
it wasn't a compulsory subject for us. I think we
Yeah.
had an option for CBSE students. I remember
Okay,
that
Yeah, the
after
CBSE
your
board.
10th grade,
After
you get it
Yeah.
now. But I feel like, why is it not mandatory?
Exactly.
You know?
Which it should
I
be.
think the Western culture that's coming upon us and we are following, I think this should be one of the key points that we should actually normalize here. It's about going to a therapist, talking it out, gaining professional help. I think this is all really missing here because as college students, at least the amount of times we thought that maybe talking to a friend or a family member, if your family is that open, first
Yes,
of all,
yeah.
it's probably not giving us a solution.
Right.
So then people get into, the bad side
the
of
abusive
Yeah.
effects of
And this
social
is the
media.
age where I've seen. I'm sure even our friends, a lot of our friends might have heard these things or even like come out and spoke about it, like how it's going. I'm talking about just a trigger warning, but like self harm or even thoughts about suicide. So, how do you even deal with if some of our friends are going through that? How do you think we deal with it?
Okay.
It's, well, firstly, I think the fact that we're not open enough to talk about it even with our friends. Let's say when you ask me, how are you? I will tell you, okay, I'm feeling low today or this and that. But just in case, if I do self harm, I might not be open to tell you about it,
Yeah.
though you might be my closest friend. So if the person right next to you might not even know what you're going through, how will they let you know, that they're there for you?
Yeah.
How will they even let you know that, okay, you might want to see a therapist at this point if it's this bad?
Correct. And just imagine you're living alone, you're facing
Yeah.
these things, or you're living with your family, parents who are really strict and you're keeping it away from them.
Yeah.
So, who do you really go to, right? These are the questions that you just start wondering because, and this is the age where we actually are exploring so many things. We are, as you all mentioned, we are just so many resources are available for us that we can actually go ahead and do anything and everything, and nobody would probably even get to know about it.
Right.
So these are the situations where I just feel like getting professional help, going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and how there should be things like going to a therapist just so normalized and be taught to us right from a school level.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
So
I think what you are also focusing on is more than how will we tell? How will we know? You know, the question should be changed to why. What is happening? Why are you, why are you choosing this path? Why are you choosing this option? That should, I think, if I don't know, I'm not someone who would actually is credited to give this sort of things, but if I feel like someone is going through self harm, from what I have known and what from I've heard, people do it to forget a certain kind of pain, to not feel things, right?
You inflict a pain on
Yeah,
yourself
so that it
to
subsides another sort of
right.
pain. Now, your question should be, why am I feeling that pain? Why do I go and, why do I choose a part which, a form of release, basically, what they find self harm is?
yeah.
Now, I don't know exactly about what happens in societal cases or not, but what I have realized and heard and noticed that it's usually to subside a sort of pain. So, why are you trying to subside it rather than feel it? Because one thing I have realized, there's no way out if it's not feeling. You have to feel it to get through it.
Yeah, I agree. And I just feel to expect that from the person who's actually suffering and going through for themselves to really realize that by themselves, it's so difficult.
Right.
And because we weren't taught how to interpret what
What
we're
we're
feeling,
feeling.
what we're going through.
Yeah.
That's just different for everybody. So I just feel what can we do as a society, as people who are close
Exactly,
to
yeah.
that person. So I think you can maybe see some symptoms, see some signs that a person is going through something. So what do we do about it really? Like I think the extent that I would personally go is just go sit with them, ask them how are you feeling, is everything all right? But what do we do more than that to just make that person
I-
feel comfortable?
Think someone who is not into the field of psychology, someone who could just see through kindness and humanity,
Yeah.
what would help them? I would say that just checking on them,
Checking in.
checking
on them.
in.
Yeah.
Because a simple text can make you, feel a lot more than it. And
Right.
I don't think if there are two things. Ya to they want to get out of this, ya to they don't understand what they are going through.
Correct.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you understand it, then you would know that it's harming you
Yeah.
and the people
Then
around
there's still
you.
hope for it.
Yeah,
To come out of
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so more than that, we should try and make them feel comfortable about it because
Yeah.
more than I think 95% of time they are ashamed of it.
At least in our let's just talk about how people are in our community. For example, we are always warm towards them. Everybody here is just making each other feel comfortable, giving them the safe space to discuss. That's what we are all about.
Yeah,
That's how
India
everything
I think
started.
the one thing that I love about India, sorry to cut you in, is that while Western culture normalizes individualistic sort
Yeah.
of, staying on your own and all of that, India is a country of community. You stay here with people. You are so close to your neighbor. If your parents are out of town, they'll get you food. I don't think that's the case, outside.
Outside.
Exactly.
So in such a country, if we're not open to,
Yeah, it makes you
It's-
actually
it's a-
question. No, like we
Yeah.
can go on limits to talk about people.
Hmm.
We can, to be there for them when someone passes away or something like that. But you are not there for them to talk about their own self.
Yeah.
Where are we lacking as a society?
Exactly.
Where do you think we are going? I think you might be able to answer this question better because even coming back to our topic which we are discussing, it will all be like for the person who is practicing self-harm or someone who is not doing well. I think it's all about making them feel comfortable
Right,
and
yeah.
in a safe situation where they can tell us what they're going through and how they think we can help them or how we can help them. How do you think or why do you think we are lacking lacking in that being able to give them a comfortable
Right.
situation?
See, I think in the most layman logic, just imagine, put yourself in their shoes, okay? Show some empathy and put yourself in the shoes of person who you know is self-harming. Okay, that person hasn't told you that. Let's just imagine that you just come to know about him. Why do you think that person took a step? What was the case? If you do you think this is my logic? If that person had even one person supporting, believing, and understanding what that person was going through, maybe that would
Yeah.
not be the extent to which that person is suffering.
Right.
So it just at the end of the day, I think I'm not talking about Western or Indian, but it just comes down to the quality of people you have
Around
and
you.
whether you are not comfortable or uncomfortable, this extent to which you feel like you can talk it out.
Right.
You can tell it to people.
Right.
So I feel if in Westernization, in Western culture, they are individualistic, okay, but they have more access to therapists, professional help.
Right.
They might not have their family and friends around, but they sort of have those. Of course, the well-to-do people have those access to direct professional help.
Right.
Here, we rely on our family members. We rely on people, and in some cases, not even that. Some
Yeah.
cases, you're just all alone. So, how much is a person who is going through something really major and it just goes undiagnosed? How much is that person getting the access to help in
Right.
general? So, our family and friends, our moms will always say, "We'll take care of you. It's all right." But a physical disease and a mental disease,
Disease
they're
is completely
Yeah,
different.
they're not
yes.
seen, like it's a disease
Yeah.
also,
And all of them are not curable by Dolo or Crocin.
Yeah.
Just cure them.
Wait, the one thing about suicide, I don't know if you guys have heard this quote. There's this, probably the Arabic quote, which says a person feeling suicidal would want to drown themselves in water, and while they're in water, they'll realize that they're struggling to breathe. They want to,
Escape. They want to
escape
be,
that situation, live. It's their body that wants to live. It's just in their mind that
It's
they
the
want to.
pain
Yeah,
that they're
it's the
not able to deal with.
it's the pain that they want to end, not
Yeah,
themselves that they want to
Yeah.
end. Which is, I think, everybody needs to understand. If
Yeah.
it's the pain that you're feeling and you want that to end, you might want to go out and seek help.
Yeah, this
That
is
just
what we
got me
discussed in-
goosebumps.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
This just reminded me of one thing that we are discussing first. Pain and guilt are these two things more than fear. For example, these two are the most the things that will keep us, that will just make a person dangerous. Dangerous for themselves and for others. So that pain and guilt, when you carry it with you for such a long time without really knowing how to deal with it, without really knowing how to just make something out of it, sort this out, it just makes that person dangerous.
Yeah.
So, and again, we're talking about us being in a community, us three just gathering, and we're still talking about it. But there are a lot of things that we are also holding back and not telling each other. So that we obviously need help for. So I'm not suggesting that we should really open up, because sometimes that the person that you open up would not give you the best advice or would not help you. So
Right.
that's why again and again the point that I'm trying to focus on is how important it is for even, let's say, the government, or let's say us as a community, our road track community, to gather that awareness to gain real professional help, and the ease of how everybody can get those professional help. You see, there are eye checkup clubs and
Yeah.
there are
Yes, yes,
clinics and
yeah.
everything. Why isn't there somebody who we can just talk to?
I feel like, it's not that easy as it sounds, because let's say, we decide, like just go door to door, this, hand free, mental health service, this is the number you can contact anytime. It's, like a toll free number.
Right.
Jab bhi karo, we'll have
Hmm.
someone and you'll
Hmm.
feel secure, like this. Oh, yeah, there's, I think I was watching this. I'll just come back to that later because it's a different topic.
Okay.
I think you're talking about the helpline number.
Yeah. Societal helpline number. But I don't think it's just, why we're not able to give them. Why is it not? It's not about accessibility also. Like, yes, it is. But it's also about acceptance of it as a
Yeah.
disease. Because even today, if I say I want to go to a psychologist, like, not a majority of the population will be like, ठीक है यार जा, we'll be there. They'll be like, क्या हुआ तेरे को, तू पागल वागल थोड़ी है.
Exactly.
And that is the mentality. That is still a mentality in the top tier cities of our country.
Right.
Imagine in a country like India, we have places where people still have to walk miles for water. Imagine to get that kind of mentality where ये नहीं सिर्फ फिजिकल कि सिर्फ ये बाहर वाली बीमारी या हानिकारक नहीं है,
That's
जो
a
अंदर
very
से
strong point.
है ना,
Yes,
जो
yes.
अंदर से आवाज आ रही है, अगर वो सही नहीं है तो आप फिर भी मर सकते हो.
Right, yeah.
The placebo effect and everything.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you're gonna get better, doesn't matter कितनी भी दवाई खा लो, क्या भी
Yeah,
treatment हो जाए, you
very
still
true.
won't get better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
think what
heard
you're
it.
trying to stress out. I'm sorry. You can
No,
continue.
it's okay.
I
Go ahead.
think what you're trying to stress on is how normalized it is in our society.
Exactly.
Right? And that
Yeah.
I don't think it's not just about how your friends and your family relates, your relative relates to it. It's also about how we as friends are just open to that idea.
Yeah.
So the लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग पागल हो गए हो
Exactly.
क्या, ये सब चीजें तो are
It's just
Yeah.
something that we
Yeah.
don't know how to handle or tackle.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like people, the guilt trip, the
Okay.
guilt thingy. Sometimes we as individuals just feel like, भाई उसके पास ऑलरेडी 100 चीजें याद करने को, परेशान
Yeah.
करने को, उसको ये मेरा एक छोटू सा चीज उसको और कितना परेशान करेगा. I'll keep it to myself. Why not? The same thing comes with our family also. Like, of course, now there are two people who will be more welcoming about it, and people who feel like, no, there's no such thing. It's all in your head. Like, yeah, it's all in my head, but it's coming out on my body, right?
The way it affects your physical health also. I don't think people realize that your mental health literally affects your physical health. If you're not healthy mentally, it literally has an effect on your body. I think we all, it's like the most little things. When you start sleeping a lot,
Yeah.
these are the signs that one can look
if
out
you start
for. Is
sleeping a lot,
Yeah.
you start sleeping less. If you
Less,
eat more,
yeah.
if you eat
Less.
if you're just oversharing or if you're undersharing.
Yeah, like wide end of the
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah,
If you're in the between, it's
Correct.
all right. But I
Anything
think
extreme is
extreme
harmful,
is
so that's
harmful.
the thing,
I
yeah.
think these things, like like I wouldn't know, as we're talking about how can we realize or recognize like our friends are going through a tough time, would be these small signs.
You're right.
Small
Yeah.
symptoms, like ठीक है यार इतना ज्यादा सो रही है, हम like पूछ लेती हूँ ना एक बार,
Exactly,
क्या
yeah.
हो जाएगा.
I think this is what I faced. Okay, so coming back to my third year in my college,
Hmm.
I saw a lot of people, and we are talking about psychology graduates. Okay, the last year of psychology,
Hmm.
and people would come to me. A lot of people said that to me. You look tired. You don't look
Hmm.
like yourself.
Yeah.
But that's the extent to how much we ask or how much we can. And when I'm not blaming them, I'm not asking them to, but that is everybody's capacity.
Hmm.
A friend can help you, a friend can talk it out with you, but if the thing is growing and growing and on a daily basis you're just looking at somebody who's like showing fatigue signs or he's so tired
Hmm.
and just looks really confused, not within the group, it's just secluded as you said, that's just small signs that maybe if we really care about that person, we can do something. At least in colleges, for example, we have counselors, so just to help them gain that.
I think
What
it
do you
also comes down to one, you can help someone, but first they need to help. They would need to want to help themselves.
Yeah.
Unless they want to help themselves, you
Right.
really can't help them. You can't force them. You can't force anybody, of course, but
Right.
you can't help them unless they want to help themselves. And they'll only want that once they know what's wrong with them. Like, once they recognize that no, there is something wrong.
So So that's what happens. Just imagine somebody who has just grown up in that environment. You know, like I'm asking you again and again, "Aapko kuch khana hai? Do you want something?" And you're just out of politeness, just saying, "No, no, no, I don't want that." Even though you do want that. This is how we've grown. This is the
Yeah.
nurturing system that we've learned. I just think I've learned that from my mother, for example. They have always just like, हाँ सब खा लो, हम
Yeah.
देख लेंगे. We will manage ourselves. So
Yeah.
if that quality is into you, I'm again and again, for example, asking you, are you tired? Do you want something? Do you need something? Are you
Yeah.
alright? And you just keep on saying
Saying,
that. What do
yeah.
you do in that situation? Like the person just does not want to go ahead with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So just repeatedly asking them also might not be the correct way out.
Right.
I feel like if we focus on the fact, like when we realize from ourselves कि नहीं कुछ गलत है, I think it could start from the very basics, you know, जैसे like when we are kids, we feel like पेट दुख रहा है, मम्मी पेट दुख रहा है,
Yeah.
मम्मी इसलिए क्या हुआ बता मेरे को कुछ, they start, you know, going back, tracking back धीरे धीरे. Now that is what we know and what we have been doing from generations. Now this sort of thing usually happens when you go to a professional help, when you go get that, because you will sit and let's say I felt very anxious. Now I felt very anxious. Okay, now I go there and try to, you know, track back what my actions were. So let's say I was supposed to go meet up with this new friend. Okay, like ठीक है, I was very anxious before meeting them. Like what and how?
Yeah.
मैं ऐसे लेके उसके पहले क्या किया मैंने? Did I have a coffee? Maybe.
Yeah.
It could be. Well, ठीक है कॉफी पी लिया नहीं ना. I got really anxious. I usually get jittery and people also say Instagram पे तो बोलते हैं कॉफी से anxiety होती है. So what happened? It's there. So next time I meet someone, I was like ठीक है कॉफी नहीं पी के मिलूंगी. And again वापस I feel anxious. Why? वो टाइम पे I won't realize anything. मुझे underdiagnosed है because मैंने तो मेरा problem हटा दी ना. So you need to get that professional help to realize that it's not just the coffee. It could also be your insecurity of something entirely. Maybe it could be, you know, meeting someone or what their idea of you is, you know,
Correct.
because maybe they do not like you. Maybe you're that fear of people not liking you. That is making you anxious. Now that you could only get when you are in a professional setting with someone who understands and make yourself, you know, help them to question the right things, you know. So I feel like this whole thing should be integrated in a thought process since a very tender age.
Early on.
Yeah, because right now it's very difficult for us. Even we're in our early 20s. It's very difficult for us to change even right now. How do we expect our parents who are like 34, 40s, you know, crossing? How do we expect them to change so
Actually,
much?
this just makes
You
me
know?
wonder. Yeah, you spoke about how you consume something, and then I just couldn't help myself, but I was wondering. See, from our childhood, our mother took care of us. The physical needs, how to deal with ourselves when you have a fever, how to deal if you have a headache, how to deal with yourself if you have a digestion problems. There are some remedies or something that we have been exposed to since our childhood. Our mother
Yeah.
would track it for ourselves. I'm sure that now that you have moved, you just remember so many things that your mother used to do. So you still are able to understand how this is. But what about mental health? Our mothers didn't be expert. They are not exposed to that kind of information. That was not something that was discussed. So I just want to ask one thing. So like a small survey or something. How many of your parents' age or your friends or family, how many people there are like psychologists or somebody who studied psychology? From that generation I'm talking about.
From a generation of our elder, you know, people that we look up to with responsibility. None.
None in my
None.
family, no.
Exactly, same for me, none
Yeah.
there. But how many of our friends are now pursuing psychology or are in that field of helping as mental health professionals? At least a few.
Yeah, I think I do know a few
But
people,
yeah,
yes.
at least
Including
a few,
you,
right?
yes.
So that's how the generations are changing. The evolution is happening. So how normalized it was to have a physical disease coming right from the way. I'm talking about Stone Age and medieval period. Okay, where you
Yeah.
just had to survive physically and understand
Yeah.
each other. Those were the needs back then, survival needs. Now we have still the development is so at par that we are still able to understand and just look after our physical needs, but the mental needs are not talked about. So that's a change, that's a shift that's happening. So just to add on to the shift, what can we contribute? And it's all how we take it from here.
I think we can also talk about how when celebrities come out and talk about their mental health.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Deepika Padukone, that now I can think of, when she talked about this, say, what, 6, 7, 8 years, I'm not sure.
No,
but like,
it was I think 3-4 years back when she was going to a very
Tough
no.
phase.
Oh my God,
No,
we're in
it's-
2024.
I think, yeah, it's-
yeah, 6, 7 years back. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
She was so mentally tough, bro.
Time
That's
is
another
relative.
question.
So when she talked about her, coming out and talking about how she felt and that it's okay to feel so, and then she started this foundation, and now we have access to help. I think that also encourages a lot of people to understand, one, what's going on with them, two, that it's all right if she can do it, maybe we can too. It's all right. It's all right to feel this way. It's all right to go to a professional and seek help. So everyone, every person, especially a person that we look up to or is in a position of, say, power, fame, whatever, if that person comes out and talks about it, then it just normalizes it for a lot of people.
lot.
Yeah, especially the people that look up to them.
Even us taking like a little step to just create that awareness
Right.
is just helping so many people, that at least if even one person is benefited out
Exactly.
of them, it just helps an
Yeah.
entire family or their entire circle. So that's how it's a water ripple effect.
Effect, yes.
You know how there is this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao
Mm,
Andolan
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Now, as we see, like 10 years back, the female child birth ratio to a male child birth ratio was very low.
Mm.
Right now, I think it's more than
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
It's better.
It's much
Statistically,
better.
It's much better.
Yes.
So that was a kind of taboo. Now,
Yeah.
right now, we have a new taboo:
Mm.
mental health.
Mental
talking
health.
about it. The way we have tried and create awareness about
Mm.
all those social issues, socially backhanded, things that pulled us back. What we are trying to do right now, I think that's the way to go about it now. But it's just the stepping stone, because until and unless we create it in their psyche to know it's okay, because right now the exposure to so many things, social media, internet, you don't know what you're doing, the content you're consuming, no one has any control over it.
Right.
No one does. So there are people who will definitely sell things to you, and just capture the target audience. So to control that, or to even realize what's happening with you, you have to start it from a very tender age.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everything goes around in a process. There's a process involved everywhere.
Hmm.
So that's the thing that should be really marketed around. That what are the steps? Like if you are going through, you see those signs of if there's somebody who needs help. For example, like a pet on the road who is not all right or needs some help.
Hmm.
There's some steps involved. The first thing that we do is maybe call somebody, maybe call for help. The second thing we do is try to give them shelter and provide them the care that they need, so that
Right.
in the following steps they are helped.
Right.
So these are the different steps. Even the process of CPR, everybody is taught in an emergency case what to do.
Right.
I think that should be the case. That should be something that should be discussed and known to everybody, that these are the steps involved at the first sight of somebody who requires help. So if you just know about the basic symptoms of somebody who is not all right, which I'm sure that we are able to identify, at least in our age group and in colleges or spaces like that, we're able to identify if somebody is going through. Just being aware of those situations and what should be the steps
Hmm.
to just go through with it, to
But-
just help.
Grisha, do you think, can you generalize the steps of mental health? Like, diagnosis, what kind of help they can
Yeah.
get?
I think,
Wouldn't that be more difficult? Because
We can't.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I just this is something that I was wondering, and I wanted to discuss with all of you. You remember there was some there was this awareness program where if some female is not fine, there's a sign that you use.
Hmm,
yeah.
domestic
That was for
violence.
domestic violence.
So
Yes.
that's the first thing that you do.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to know if I'm just trying to understand that if our friend, somebody from our friend who has come out to us, I'm not saying to prejudge somebody, but has come out to us with some issue that they're facing. Maybe they're feeling suicidal, maybe they're self-harming, maybe they're not getting that the comfort that they need in their family, for example. What do we do about it? So just we can't as people do anything about it because it's dangerous. The thing that we can do is to make mental health institutions or those helpline numbers so accessible.
Right.
We don't have those mental helpline numbers in our colleges or anywhere in, even in hospitals, we don't have that. People have to take that step themselves to go
Right.
for it. And for somebody who's already suffering with something, for them to take that step is really difficult. So
Right.
just to make it all easy and
Accessible is
and for everybody to know what to do, what's the first step, I think that is something that of course we won't be knowing, we can't do
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah.
But all we can do is, if there's something taken up by the government or there's something taken up by some private institution who has that power for it, maybe we can dig in deep in this
Right.
context.
Also, I think nowadays, one, we have a lot of helplines. It's just, again, the person has to take that step. But if I'm not wrong, in the new education regime, we are including psychology since a
Yeah, and
younger age.
Younger
I think
age,
probably
yeah.
7th grade or something. I'm not very sure.
Yeah, I'm also not that
Not
well
sure?
versed, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think from that age group you have like a diverse option to pick your
Right,
subjects
pick your
and
subject.
everything.
And if there's psychology, I think that will be a huge change and a huge help to at least the next generation.
But I feel like it shouldn't just be, you know, something like that you start learning at the age of what? I think 12, 13. I think it should be something that you are taught, you know, like children should
Right.
feel comfortable because
Yeah.
their mom is their first teacher, you know. Your preschool, your nursery teachers, you most of the time you call them only mama. You know, I've done this a lot
Yeah,
of
a lot of times by mistake.
and then you know get teased by eating mummy hai kya? And then the teacher comes like a superhero and like हाँ हूँ मैं उसकी माँ बोलो.
People like me, it was actually a case number.
Wow.
And yeah, so I feel like it should be not at that level, but somewhere or the other, even when you are at like first grade, second grade, you know, like there's so much awareness about bad touch and good touch for children right now.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe small changes in the curriculum, you know, that okay, it's okay if you're feeling that way. It's okay because you're doing that way. Because all of our emotions, how we regulate them, how we respond to them, how we react to them, it all comes from our household and from our preschools, primary school.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
I think the first thing that we can maybe like people can start doing is talking about it at homes,
Yeah.
in their homes, you know, especially with people that are not so well versed with all of this, like mental illness and just mental health in general. There are people that are open to it, maybe tier 1 cities, yes, but tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, India overall in
It's a
general.
lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But when you start talking about it in their home, you know, on the dining table, and just letting the child or children know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling fear or anxiety or you're feeling sad, it's all okay, you know. You have to feel it. You process the emotion, you get through it, it passes after a time.
Yeah.
Maybe just the talk is where people can start at homes at least.
I'd like to add this thing that when it comes to home, no, everybody has okay. Now, as we live in a community-based society, everybody has a specific role. So when it comes to your family, you feel like you have a specific set role already placed for you. You know, so you tend to start to fulfill those responsibilities, those set of way of behavior, how you're going to do. Like that's what you've seen your mom, that's what you've seen your father do, that's what you've seen everybody in your family do, and somewhere or the other, I think that is what happened with me for like for a long amount of time. That you just start doing things like what people just expect out of you, rather than express what you actually want to do or how you want to feel. That independence factor, somewhere or the other, you limit yourself so much that you don't allow yourself to feel. Why? And even if even if I have these certain set of responsibilities, why can I not feel something other than that? Why do you just expect me to smile every time and not be able to express what I'm feeling?
I think it comes so deep rooted. It's the conditioning that's that's just going on and on within ourselves, and just the thought of we weren't taught since our childhood, or of course even till for a lot of people, let's say 10th standard or junior college. A lot of our decisions are made by parents. A lot of our decisions are made by somebody else. So just to take account of that and try to think of things for ourselves and by ourselves
Yeah.
is alone very really
Grisha,
important.
tell me, तुमने देखा ही नहीं है तुम्हारी माँ को कुछ और करते हुए?
Correct.
तुम्हारे पिताजी ने तुमको कभी कुछ देखा ही नहीं है, कुछ और बोला ही नहीं है कुछ और. Like these guys have been so, what would I say, you know, submerged in their own responsibilities that as children we fail to see them and their
Yeah.
health, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just जो देखा है वही सीखा है ना यार.
Correct.
It also comes down to, you know, that growing up is a lot of unlearning.
Yeah,
It's not just learning, it's also a lot of
Unlearning.
unlearning, all the conditioning, all that you are taught, because in their capacity they think that they're, you know,
Did the
telling you the
best.
right things, and
Yeah.
Of
at least they're telling you all that they know to the best,
Right.
but at times they're wrong, at times they don't have much information.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of unlearning too.
And then to just be in a family where things like mental health or the things that you're suffering from are just sworn under the
Brushed,
carpet,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're not
Mm.
talked about at all. So
Mm.
I, for example, if I am in that situation, if I am somebody who has been exposed to so many things and so many things that need to be talked of outside my house, I'll come to my house and I'm not able to talk. So what do I do? What does this person do to just make them aware of something like that? So this is actually something that one of my friends faced, and this was her experience with that. So what she did was she started playing movies in the house. Every Sunday they used to play
Yeah.
some movie, and she just handpicked those mental health topic movies
Ah.
and she just showed them to them. So that's what I'm saying. There are resources. You
Yes.
just have to, you know, have that gut and have that responsibility feeling within yourself that you just start with that.
Take that step.
Yeah.
yes.
So I think movies influence people
Yeah,
so
A
much.
lot.
Lord.
Cinema is a
The
huge
documentaries
influence.
that we have right now, so many things, and they are so
True.
easily available with the OTT platforms and everything. So just
Yes.
if you ever feel like you want this topic to come out in the family, I think movies are a great way to just a source to start the conversation. around.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like it's just as simple with every relation you go. You just, you know, that check in. Like, ठीक है, be
Hmm.
whatever you're doing. I get it. तुम्हारा जो feeling है, करो feel. मैं हूँ बैठी हूँ. I'm not going anywhere.
Hmm.
You're not disappointing me. You're not disappointing anyone in the family
Yeah.
by feeling this way. It's just, it's okay. We get it. We understand it. And maybe we don't understand it at that extent right now, but we're trying to understand it. Help us, and we'll also try and help you.
Just
Right.
being empathizing and being
Yeah.
kind, I think, can go a long way.
Yeah, and I just feel like the things, the phrases, for example, that we always take in a negative way. Let's say, "Jaisa rang वैसा ढंग," या
Yeah.
"Jaisa sang वैसा रंग," वैसा
Hmm.
all these things. The things that we take in a negative way can also benefit us if we take it to the other
Positive.
spectrum.
Yeah.
For example, we are aware about all these things. We ourselves have made that effort to understand and really put thought to it. We can be that son who can give those to our friends.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
just starts from one person. The things we can just spread information so easily in this environment. So we
True.
should do the best in this
Right.
context. So just if we ourselves, the three of us at least, are just so aware and are just in the present moment, checking in on friends and family and everybody, we can at least help one person. It just goes on. The evolution
along.
just keeps
Ah,
happening.
Yeah.
जय हो वाला.
So-
और तीन लोग की मदद करो, और तीन को और तीन की
Well,
मदद
one
करो.
thing Salman Khan did good.
Yeah.
On that note, I think let's end this here, and let's maybe just check in on people around us and empathize, be kind, and
Just
at least let them know of the resources available.
So the next time we ask somebody, "How are you?"
And we really
actually
mean it. Yes.
reply, but I'm okay. The thing's
Reflect
going.
on it, and
Right.
yeah.
Just stay there, be there for each other, and I think that's gonna take you a long way. Just believe in each other more than that.
Let's give each other that space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. for
Yes.
having us.
Thank you.
you.